President Biden today announced a multi-billion-dollar investment toward clean energy projects in rural areas at a visit in Westby, Wisconsin. The $7 billion in financing will go towards 16 different projects. The funding will help speed up the transition to clean energy in rural communities while also creating jobs in those areas. The administration says it is the largest investment in rural electrification since FDR. During his visit, President Biden also called on Congress to work on stronger gun control measures after yesterday's shooting at that Georgia high school.
But as a nation, we cannot continue to accept the carnage of gun violence. I'm a gun owner. I believe strongly in the amendment, but we need more than thoughts and prayers.
Biden is pushing for stronger background checks and the end of immunity for gun makers. Former President Donald Trump will be in Wisconsin on Saturday. He's holding a rally in Mosinee at Central Wisconsin Airport. Trump is set to speak around 1 p.m. Doors will open at 9 a.m.